folks, Brother Sam here for the Rift Online Church, building God's kingdom in you. That's our motive, that's our agenda, for Christ to be so formed in you that you can't help but become who God intended you to be. And on that note, I want to talk about God's intention for your life. And I posted on Facebook that, that sometimes something, I think what I said was that moment when you realize you've been sitting on a revelation for 6 years and didn't really understand its full meaning, or full intention, or full its sheer magnitude. And that's what I want to discuss with you today, about God's intention. Now, very often when we want to encourage somebody, a lot of us will quote Jeremiah 29:11, and I want to use that as kind of the basis or the starting point for what I'm going to say here. And we're going to try and make this quick. Here we go. And we're very familiar with this. It says, "For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end." And we say this, and we say, and some translations will say, to give you a hope and a future. That I know the plans that I have for you, and it's encouraging and all that, but there's more to it than this. And I want to tie this in with what God has been showing me lately. I was thinking the other day about this thing that I've been saying for a long time, and I say it to a lot of people. I've said it when I do life coaching. I've said it to people in conversation. I've said it a lot in preaching and teaching, and that is, an intention without a decision is just a wish. And I've been saying that since, I think, 2013. So it's been about 6 years now that I've been saying that, and I mean it, and I know it, and I thought I understood it. And let me break it down for you a little bit. The reason why I say an intention without a decision is just a wish, because if you could say you really intend to do something, but then if you don't do it, did you really intend it? If there's not a decision, you're just wishing. I'll give you an example. You say, well, I'm going to lose weight. I intend to lose weight. But you never go to the gym. You don't do any exercise. You don't change your diet. Nothing changes. You're still, eating 20 donuts a day and breaking out the Haagen-Dazs every night and sitting on your butt on the couch watching movies. There might have been an intention made there. Maybe you really want to lose weight, but you didn't make a decision. And I will say this: you haven't decided anything unless and until you take action. No action, no decision. If you really decided to lose weight, for example, you're going to change something. You're going to do some exercise. You might go to the gym. You might do some push-ups or sit-ups. You might change your diet. You might say, you know what? I'm not having that ice cream. I'm going to eat different. I'm going to cut down carbs. I'm going to stop eating junk food. And you actually do it. That's a decision. Every real decision has action behind it. Otherwise, it's just a wish. Now, what does it have to do with Jeremiah 29:11? Well, and this is what I realized the other morning. I think I was driving to work, and I was thinking about that. And then I realized, wait a minute. God had an intention for your life. He had an intention for my life. And if God had an intention, He made a decision. And therefore, He took action. Because God doesn't wish. God is not sitting there pie in the sky hoping something good happens. He said, let there be light, and there was light. Hope somebody gets this. God had a specific and express and detailed intention for you. And therefore, He made a decision. God already made up His mind about you. Before the foundation of the world, He decided what He wanted out of you, what He was going to do with you, what He wanted to make out of you. And He took action. Because like I said, an intention without a decision is just a wish. God doesn't wish. God gets things done. Why do you think Jesus said, it is finished? You're sitting there worrying. God already took action because He already decided. He made up His mind about you. His provision is already in place. Every answer to every prayer you could possibly utter has already been determined. See, we have this illusion because we live in this thing we call time. God is outside of time. God is eternal. He's not subject to time. So on God's timeline, it's already done. Every prayer has an answer already before you even thought about praying for it. Every need already has a provision. Every possible purpose God could have along the way already has the provision of God and the grace of God for it. God's just waiting for your faith to catch up to his plan. God does not have an intention without a decision. He already decided about you. Stop worrying. Stop wishing. Stop being scared. And I challenge you to start praying about what exactly is God's intention for my life. And he'll show you. And then you'll start to see things fall into place. And then you'll receive the grace to get it done. Many of us are chasing a dream God didn't give us. Outside of the will of God, and we wonder why things don't work out. Seek out God's intention. You'll find everything else. Brother Sam signing out.